Well, hello everybody. I wanted to get on here and show you the latest update on my raised bed garden, how far I've gotten with it. I've got broken down wood bark, rotten tree, small tree limbs. I've got paper, cardboard, all kind of stuff in there. Table scraps, peelings from fruit, peelings from veggies, that type of thing. Anything that I can put in there that does not attract ants. Because if I can get it full quick enough, I want to transplant some of my collard plants in there. But I still got to put leaves, and that's something I probably will do tomorrow. I'll add leaves to this, some more garden soil. I'll get a couple of bags of potting mix, and I'm going to add potting mix to the top. But you can see I'm only like not even quite halfway up the side yet. So I've got a little ways to go before I can add potting mix or potting soil or anything like that. So the next on my agenda is adding leaves. So I got to rake up some leaves and add those. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'll add a little bit more to this video as I go. Y'all, I'm out here. I got to put some more leaves right there in the compost pile. Fill that corner up because I've been putting scraps, cardboard, and other stuff in there. But we got to go get the wheelbarrow right now because I've got to get the get something to get the leaves and stuff with. So I'm going to leave the tripod right here with the camera. You can see where I'm going over here to get the wheelbarrow. Lucky, what are you doing there, huh? What are you doing there? Am I chasing you? I'm chasing Lucky. Whew. But yeah, I'm coming around here to where I can get leaves and stuff to go in there. And I gotta get my rake, it's in the shed. So you have to bear with me. Rake's over there in the shed. It's got to be unlocked. But I'm coming over here and I'm just going to try to rake up some leaves and stuff from over there. Put them up in the wheelbarrow and then try to put them in the compost. So I wanted to show the compost pile too. Yeah, the compost pile is right back there. And I wanted to tell you too, I've got messages repeatedly about when are you going to make a video on just doing a compost pile. And my Lord, I've been doing videos on building compost and compost piles for several years now. So all through my videos, you're going to find anything you ever need on composting. The only difference between what I'm putting in the raised bed and what I put in my buckets than what I put in my compost pile over there is the fact that I put anything in the compost pile. In my buckets and my raised bed, something that I'm going to try to plant in right away, I'm real careful not to put food scraps in there that will attract ants. Anything else you have free range with. I'd put any type of a table scrap, vegetables, vegetable scraps, peelings, fruit, anything like that in that, in that compost for that raised bed. Just like I did for the buckets back here. So I could plant in it right away. The only thing I wouldn't put in my compost pile is bones. Because I found bones take forever to break down. And they're not going to break down for you. They'll be right there. But I even put meat scraps, like cooked meat. I don't put raw meat in there, but cooked meat, that type of thing. Any table scraps that I would eat off the table go right in my compost pile. Because it's going to break down all winter long. And it'll be ready to go in the spring. By then, the ants will get in there, do whatever they want to do, and they're gone. By springtime, I'll have good garden soil and compost in that compost pile. So I hope that answers your questions. My compost pile consists of broken down rotted wood, wood bark, twigs, leaves out of the yard, anything of that matter. It's old plants that are dying. I throw the plants in there like squash plants, pepper plants, tomato plants, whatever. Broken off of cabbage leaves, collard leaves, anything like that. That makes a good compost. Throw that in there. Cardboard, paper, toilet tissue rolls, paper towel rolls, any of that stuff goes right in your compost. And I'll guarantee you by springtime it's going to be broken down. That is going to be some of the best garden soil and compost that you can put in your garden. And like I said, I will remind you again so there's no misunderstanding. If I'm going to build a pot today that I'm going to plant in right away, just like my raised bed back there, I'm not going to put any type of a table scrap in there that's going to attract ants. Nothing sugary, no cakes, nothing that's going to attract ants right away. Because if you attract ants into your soil, when you plant, the ants will eat the roots of your plant. That's happened to me before, so don't do it. Put anything in there that you know will not attract an ant. And you're good to go. And like I said, in the compost pile like this one back here that I've got, anything goes. I'm just not going to put corn cobs or bones in that compost pile. Now, the shucks off of a corn, yeah, right in the compost. Any of that thing, right in the compost. But corn cobs and bones, I try to stay away from. They will break down eventually, but it takes a long, long time. And I don't think they'll be broke down by the spring when you're going to want to use your compost. So, leave comments if you need to, but I hope that answers any of your questions on how do you build a compost pile. Wood bark, broken down rotted wood, leaves right out of your garden. I don't suggest you put grass clippings in there unless you know there's not seeds in it. Because if you do, you're going to grow grass. I mean, you're going to eventually have stuff growing in your compost anyway, but try not to put any more like grass seeds or anything that has grass seed in it in your compost, I stay away from that. I put anything out of my garden in there. Leaves, plants, dead fruit, yellowing leaves, dead plants, goes right in the compost, goes right in my buckets, goes right in my raised bed. So I just hope that clears up any of the questions you have on building a compost pile. And you would keep it damp. And some people don't even cover them up. I didn't cover this one up last year. But I found if you'll take a tarp and at least cover the top of your compost pile, it'll cure faster. It'll break down faster because it keeps the heat in. But you'll have to lift the tarp up to keep it wet. You know, every once in a while, go out there and just spray some water on your compost pile and then cover it back up. And I guarantee you, it'll be ready in the spring for you to plant in. Be the best soil you could ever have. So with that, I got to go get some leaves and work on my compost pile back here. And I got to wear this because I didn't earlier when I was out here watering, and I've been gagging and coughing ever since. Oh, where's my gloves? I thought I brought my gloves out here. Oh, I know, they're in my wheelbarrow. And I'll move you on closer so you can see what I'm doing. There's a corner of my compost pile that I used this summer, but a lot of it was not broke down. So I got that corner right there to fill up. That corner right there. But I'm leaving my cucumbers because I got cucumbers. Look at this. Look at that. I got cucumbers growing here, y'all. I got one up here. I got several cucumbers. I got one over here. Got one right there. So I'm not going to disturb my vine, but I am going to put, you can already see I put cardboard twigs, eggshells, some food scraps and other stuff down in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and complete it by filling it up with some leaves that I can rake up here. And I don't know if I'm even in the camera view. Now I am, and I got the compost pile in there too. I could do it just like this. But I got the wheelbarrow over here, so. And I got plenty of acorns in here. I mean, this is pretty much what I do with my leaves when I rake my yard. And they'll break down pretty quick. These little twigs, you just break them up and put them in there. And I put quite a few leaves because they break down pretty fast and they break down pretty small. So I'll kind of fill the corner up with the leaves. They're going to break down, like I said, pretty fast. And then I'll end up putting dirt. Native dirt, cardboard on top of it again. Food scraps, and just continue on going with it. As it breaks down, I keep adding. You can already see I had put dirt on top of food scraps. And then I came over here and actually put dead plants, dead vines on top. And that's the same thing I'm going to do in the corner. Now on top of this, I'm going to put more leaves. I'm going to put dirt, just regular dirt from around the yard. And then start adding more food scraps, cardboard. Well, you can add cardboard right now if I had it to put on here. In fact, that's probably what I'll do. I'll fill some more leaves up over there in that corner. And then I'm going to start adding more cardboard up here. Or toilet roll holders, paper towel tubes, newspaper, any kind of paper, and any kind of cardboard. Just pull the tape off of it. Because you don't want the tape with the glue on it in your compost. But that's how you do it. That's all there is to building a compost pile. And I do mine as a no-turn compost pile. I don't turn this. It's too hard on my back and neck to turn it. I just pile it in there, let it sit all winter. And like I said, cover it up, it'll break down faster. Just remember to take the tarp off every once in a while and water it some. Keep it damp and it'll continue breaking down. And then in the summertime or springtime, you're going to have some good garden soil compost to add to your pots and your totes and your buckets to replant your spring garden. So I hope that answers some more of your questions about it. But I need to get some more, just a little bit more leaves in there before I stop. Because I've still got all the leaves in the raised bed garden back there that I got to put. You know, I got tons of those that I've got to put in there yet. Got lots of leaves that's got to go in there. And what I don't put in my compost, whenever I rake my yard, goes over there behind the cinder blocks in between my flower pots, and I just dump it in there, just lay it in there just as thick as I can get it, and it keeps grass from growing up between my pots and my buckets and my totes back there. So it acts as a weed barrier as well. So, and if you don't have any in your yard, if you got neighbors, hey, go volunteer to rake up leaves for them and take them and put them in your compost pile. Or if you got a wooded area close by, take a walk through the woods, pick you up some dead wood, broken limbs, wood bark. Rake you up some ground cover in the woods, because it's all broken down leaves and stuff like that. That's perfect. That's nature soil. And that's what we're using here to build this, is nature soil. Yeah, I got acorns and all here. I mean, you know, I can't help but rake my yard and get acorns, because I've got tons of oak trees with acorns in them. And see, there's part of a corn cob. It got in the yard somehow. It just ain't gonna break down. I mean, it will eventually, but it'll take several years for it to break down. I'm getting my sleeve caught on that wire. But I somewhat fill that corner up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start adding scraps, cardboard, paper of any kind, more broken down bushes or plants from the garden, not bushes in the yard. But that's how you do it. And I'm going to be working on doing the same thing to my raised bed back there. I'm going to go ahead and rake up a bunch of leaves and stuff out of the yard, little twigs and branches, and break them up. and put them in my raised bed back there that I've been working on top of that cardboard and what little bit of dirt I got in there and all that other stuff. And I'll bring you back when I get a good layer of leaves and broken up tree limbs and stuff like that in there on top of the cardboard. And I'll also let you see how I put more garden soil on the top, how I add potting mix out of the bags that you buy at the store. And I try to get the cheapest stuff I can find. I don't like the garden soil out of the bags because it's like $1.99 or $2 a bag. And it's sand. I mean, you can plant in it, but I don't need any more sand. I've got enough sand in the garden soil I got in the pile around there on the other side of the house. I need something that I'm going to put in my raised bed that will hold moisture. So I'll try to get potting mix or garden soil that will hold moisture. That's my goal, to put in that raised bed. And we'll bring you back for that too. Hey y'all. I decided I was going to change my table display here and just draw a couple of faces on my pumpkins and make them Halloween pumpkins till the end of the month, and then I'll turn them around and make them into fall pumpkins. But I'll probably end up having to cook the small one because it's already getting discolored on the outside, and I'm afraid if I wait too long it'll go bad. I might just make a pie with it. See, I got a marker here. I don't know. Have to look at the way the pumpkin is. I had 3 of them out here on the table one year, and I called them the 3 Amigos. I've only got 2 this year, real ones. I guess I can call them twins or something like that. I don't know. But I don't like to cut them and put them outside, even though they do look good that way, because they attract so many ants and flies to your house if you do that. So I try not to do that. I know I'm not drawing it very well. It's kind of hard to draw on this pumpkin. Now I think I can kind of turn him up a little bit to draw his mouth. Put him a big old mouth on there. Yeah, I tried cutting it one year and getting all the insides out of it, putting a candle in it, but it just drew too many flies and gnats. So I decided after that I would not do that again. But I think I'll color his whole mouth in and just leave his teeth orange. See how that works. I've never done that before, but I think I'm going to do it this time. Yeah, I like just a plain pumpkin out for Thanksgiving. Just so it looks festive for fall. Yeah, I've never colored the mouth in before like this, but oh well, we'll see how it looks. If it don't look good, I just won't ever do another one like that. Yeah, mine are so close to the house, I don't want to cut them and put them out there because he's only got a few teeth. Oh well, let's see what we can do with the little one. Yeah, I mean, he's getting all discolored. I've never seen a pumpkin do that. He must have been picked a long time, maybe. But this way I can have my little jack-o'-lanterns out here. I messed up over here. Oh well, that's good enough. I think that's good enough. They look like jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween. And look where little buddy is. He just crawled up into the chair. And I want y'all to know I haven't used that cat repellent on any of my plants yet. I may just decide to send it back and not use it, because I don't want to keep them from coming in the in the garden. And I'm afraid if I put too much of it out there, they might not even come in the garden. So far I haven't seen where Lucky has been put that marker up there. I haven't seen where Lucky's been getting in any of my plants, my pots or totes yet. I've been watching every day. I don't see where he's been getting in there bothering anything. So maybe I won't have to use anything like that. And I may decide to get the little mats to put in it instead. But I'm out here now. I'm going to go get the wheelbarrow. And I'm going to start raking up some leaves and stuff to start filling in the raised bed back there. We got to get that finished, because I've got collard plants that pretty soon need to go somewhere. And he has been laying in that little bed right there. The one with the pink marker in it. And, I mean, he can lay in that all he wants. There's just some chives growing in it. But if he wants to lay there and he's happy, just let him lay there. But I haven't seen where Lucky's been getting in anything else. And little buddy never gets in there. I've never seen him get in any of my flower pots. It's just Lucky. He likes to climb up in the pot and lay down. But look at this. Look at my collard plants, how they've been growing. You know, I've pretty soon got to get a bunch of them out of there. And I don't even have enough room in that raised bed to put all of them. And I thought I just put out a few seed. But by gosh, all the seed have germinated and started growing. I just don't know where I'm going to put them. I might be able to put some in between my okra plants, because the okra plants are just about done. I don't know, in that little blue swimming pool. I might could get 2 or 3 plants in that. But really, there's no place else to put them, because I've got either kale, spinach, onions, tomatoes and kale, or pepper's still growing, and I don't want to pull out any of that to put collards there. So, and I broke one of my little peppers off yesterday. So I was going to take it in the house, and I forgot and left it laying out here. But yeah, look at that. I think every one of the few seeds that I threw in that tote to start my collard plants grew. Because look at all of them. There's probably 100 or more plants right there, and I don't know what I'm going to do with all of them. I don't want to put them in the top of the bucket planter, because it might cause the whole planter to tip over. You know, I want it on something low, or at least on one single bucket on the ground that I can prop up if I have to. But yeah. I don't know. Some of my stuff, you know, when I planted seed to sprout, it didn't even grow at all. And some of the other stuff is just growing like crazy. My cilantro, I don't know. It did come up. I've got several pots with cilantro that has come up. Several pots with holy basil that has come up. But right now, look at that. There's paper. I don't know where that came from, but I'll put it in my I'll put it in that raised flower bed. I mean, that raised garden back here. Let's see if I can get the camera. Take the camera around with me when I go. Just have to bear with me. Well, turn it this way, and at least maybe you can see something about where we're going. If I can get this thing adjusted correctly. I've got too much in my hands. Stop here and I'll get rid of this little pepper. Put it up there for right now. I'm going to come over here and start raking in the yard. Whoops, sorry about that, y'all. Oh, man. Let me set this camera up so I can get it away from me so I quit bumping it. I want to show you too how my hostas are doing. They're looking good since I put them over here. They're not very big, but they're in the shade so the sun's not burning them. My sweet potatoes are growing still like crazy, and the vines need to be trimmed back again. And that one there. And all my peppers. I gotta pretty soon get out here and pick all these peppers. I really do. Put this camera back here so it's going to be out of the way. because I can't rake or anything without my mask. I mean, I get all the leaves I want right here in my yard. Well, here I am back here at the raised bed getting ready to put the leaves in there. Let's see, maybe I can dump them over without bending the side, maybe. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. Yeah, I did what I didn't want to do. Maybe that'll hold it up there. We'll spread this out. I would put some of these logs in there, but they're cedar, and cedar are not good to put in the flower bed. If it's oak or something like that, it's pretty good, but not cedar. Well, I got me a couple of bags of potting mix. I got a couple of bags of potting mix, some that was on sale, special. I got a load of dirt. This is topsoil or garden soil that was in that pile. And you can see I went around and got a bunch of collard greens, kale greens, spinach greens. I broke all of the leaves off that the worms had gotten to, or bugs had been eaten on, or didn't look too good, or some that I'm not going to put in the pot and cook myself. And I've just made a good layer of them across the top. Now, as that breaks down, it's going to make really good plant food for the plants. So, and the ants don't bother that. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a layer of this dirt right on top of the greens. I'm going to add more cardboard. And I may put the cardboard first and then put the dirt on top of it. That might be a better plan. But that's how I'm going to finish it off, with a little bit more cardboard mixed in with the greens, garden soil or native dirt, and then potting mix. I've got more paper in here that can also go in. And what that paper is going to do is it'll hold moisture while it's breaking down, and it'll turn into garden soil. Same with the cardboard. And here I got little buddy back here with me. He's over at the camera. I hope he doesn't bump into the tripod now and turn my camera over. But as this, I water it down later, or it rains on it, this cardboard will get wet, and it'll hold quite a bit of moisture until the cardboard breaks down and turns into garden soil. So that is my goal. But that's how you fill a raised bed when you don't have to fill it completely with garden soil that you buy by the bag, because that can get expensive. And I can plant right between the cardboard. You know, the cardboard pieces I put in here. I'll be able to plant between them. Poke holes between the paper or the cardboard. And it'll help hold moisture for my plants, and that's what I need. So I can keep it in here. The wind started blowing a little bit, so piece of cardboard on top. Now this white label I don't need. I mean, there's probably not enough on it to hurt, but I know it has glue on it. And I have to wear my mask because I'm stirring in this dirt. And if you wanted to use, if you don't have garden soil at home or topsoil, you can get the bags of garden soil or topsoil at Walmart or Home Depot, and it's only like $2 a bag, which is almost the same as this. There might be a little bit of difference, but it's basically the same. I mean, this does have ground up mushrooms and all kind of stuff in it to help your plants grow. I'm not sure what the bag stuff has in it. Whew. But it's similar. It may not be exactly the same thing because, you know, different companies might put something different to it. Whew. This is a job, y'all. Goodness gracious. Don't let anybody ever tell you that building a garden bed is not work. It's work if you got to do it by hand. And that's the way I do everything, is by hand. My own hands. But if you've got good rich dirt in your yard, just native dirt, you can add that in with the mixture. That seems like a lot in there, but it's not. Because as those leaves and things break down, they're going to drop. Just like they drop in the totes and the buckets. But as they drop, they're making good soil. And this is for a raised bed and garden soil, so I didn't think to bring a knife out here. did I not think to bring a knife? See, I got keys in my pocket. I can make a hole in it with that. Whew. If I was always prepared for everything, it would surprise me. And what I do is I just keep layering it. I mix it. So these bags were on sale. They're the 1 cubic meter or 1 cubic foot was only like $6.97, I think, a bag. And this other one was a little bit more, but it was on sale. And right now, a lot of the garden stuff is on discount. Not as many people plant a fall garden as they do a summer garden. Oh, let's see if I can get this up. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up or not. Take my gloves off so I can grip the bag. And my hands are wet. I'm sweating in the gloves. Oh, goodness. Get my keys again so I can tear the bag open. So I didn't bring a knife or anything out here. If you've got good rich soil where you live, like it's clay and sand mixture, you got some ideal soil to plant in because it'll hold some moisture for you. Most of the soil around here doesn't hold moisture, so you have to add something to your mix for it to hold moisture. Get tangled up in the wheelbarrow cloth down here. after I took a bath in it. Whew. Put something on that to keep the breeze from blowing it away. Whew. It's a job, y'all. There's no doubt about it. Let's see if I can empty this. Still quite a bit in it. About tearing my bed completely up. Because these lightweight aluminum beds are not made for a lot of pressure to put on the side of it. It'll cause them to bow out. And I put stakes down as far as I could, but they, like you know, I've got so many rocks here. There's very few places you can actually drive a thin stake down. And it bowed out here just because I lifted that weir bar on the side up there. But layering it is mixing it enough. I mean, layer it real thin with the topsoil. And then again with your potting mix, it'll mix it up for you. And you say, well, you don't have to fill it that full. Well, no, you actually didn't if you weren't going to put scraps and cardboard and wood bark and all that in there too. But like I said, that over a period of time, it's going to drop down. As that wood breaks down, as that paper and cardboard breaks down, as the food scraps break down, it's going to level. You know, it's going to lower. So I like to put enough in it to where I can go ahead and plant in it if I want to. And then later when it breaks down, you know, I can add compost. I can add compost to the top. So but I've got enough green matter in there with cardboard, food scraps, and everything else. And like I said, by springtime, all that cardboard, all that leaves, all the wood, all that stuff is going to break down into really good, rich garden soil. And you do this even if you've got good dirt. You know, maybe you don't want to dig up your yard and put all your dirt in your raised bed. So fill it up with potting mix, food scraps, wood. I need to get that somehow to where it doesn't slide. Oh. Whew. So I hope this answers some more of the questions I've had on composting in place and all these other questions that were coming in. Whew. Now really the only thing I have to do is water this down good. I can either do it with compost tea or with just plain water and let it settle. And then hopefully in a couple of days I'll be able to plant some more collards in here. Because I'm going to have to do something with those collard plants. And I know as big as collards get, I'm not going to be able to put too many in here. I might maybe get 8 or 10, I don't know, something like that. And I got a box here that I can use for cardboard in the next one. And I saved my bags because who knows, I may want to make a pot out of a bag and plant something in it like I did some of the other ones. I think though with my watermelon vines, when I change them out, I'm going to dump the dirt into a tote. And I'm actually going to plant next time in a tote. Because I can keep them watered a whole lot better with a tote with a water reservoir in the bottom than I can in a bag with just a whole drain hole in the bottom. Because all my water don't stay in. So, well, so there you go. I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff put up. I might go ahead and try to water that bed down and let it sit there for a day or so. And then when I come back, I may go ahead and plant some collards in there. And y'all already saw how I did my collards. You saw me plant them in the buckets. And I'm going to do them the same way over here. So, but I am going to put these logs around it. I should go ahead and do that. Put my glove back on. I don't have many logs yet because they're all holding my weed barrier cloth down. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to wait on it because I can't pick up these logs until I pick up my weed barrier cloth. And I'm not sure I want to pick it up. I may just take the blower and blow it off and leave it there to replant my watermelon next year so they'll have something to grow on top of. So, yeah. I hope that answered some of your questions on composting and compost bins and composting in place just like I did here. Just remember, if you want to use it to plant in right away, don't put anything that attract ants. Now, I did put lemon peels, orange peels, that type of thing in there, but I didn't put like melon or anything like that. Because some ants love melons if they're ripe and sweet. I use those in my compost tea buckets and stuff, so the ants don't bother it. But there's my raised bed, y'all. And you'll see when I show it the next time, after it's watered down some, it's going to settle. And the dirt level is going to drop a couple of inches from what it is right now. That's why I didn't mind filling it that full, because I know it's going to drop. Once it gets wet, the cardboard, the paper, the leaves, the dirt, everything starts settling. It's going to lower. It'll lower in the height. So that's all I got for you today. Whew, y'all have a blessed evening. I'll see you on my next one. I hope this helped. Bye now. Love y'all.